Well, I hope y'all aren't getting tired of creek videos, but it is hot in Texas and it's nice and shady in this creek. So at this time of the summer, you either do metal detecting in the lakes, or luckily for us, we can dig this creek. What we're going to do different today is we're going to go up the drainage ditch, the source. Nothing gets in the creek past that little opening right there. The water's going down fast because of the heat and the lack of rain we've had, so we're going to try right here first. I don't remember ever being able to dig here because it's usually too high right here. But like I said, those big old rains we had earlier this year have changed everything, and there's a lot of metal right here. So we're going to start here, and then we'll take y'all up in the drainage ditch, which y'all have never really seen the whole ditch, so we'll kind of give you a tour. Okay, I just knelt down here at the water's edge, and already you can see a coin. That kind of looks like a melted blob of lead, but it could be some kind of pin or something. Let's see what. Starting out with a wheat penny. Let's see what this is. Oh yeah, it's just melted junk. Okay, starting out the day good. Already got a coin. Yeah. George is digging already. Oh, look. There's more of those tool tags or shipping tags.
Behind me?
Yeah, here's another coin right behind George. Look at that. Now I know pennies aren't exciting, but when you see them laying in the bottom of the creek, you kind of get excited because, number one, if you're finding pennies, you're going to find Mercs and Rosies and Washington quarters, nickels, and you really don't know what these are until you get them up and get them clean, because we have found Indian heads. I even found one of my nickels one time was a shield nickel, and luckily it wasn't burnt. We got another coin here. I don't know if it's a nickel or if it's a penny in the water just making it look big. What is that ugly slug looking thing? I moved his rock and there's a penny underneath it. Another penny. Oh, look what I just eyeballed. At first I was just looking at the another toilet seat hinge. Look what's laying next to it. A marksman medal. Looks like it's going to be in pretty good shape. Some of these were sterling. This doesn't really have that color. I don't know if it's going to be silver, but it's still cool to find this. This is another good catch spot that's formed since the last time that we were up in here. I dug me a little hole right here, and I'm waiting for the water to clear, and I was looking around up here and I got a big edge of something showing right here. Maybe a nickel. It is Jefferson nickel. Pretty clean. Maybe it's a war nickel. We can always hope for that. Okay, I'm still making my way up the ditch, checking all these roots, all these little pockets, and anywhere you can see this heavier stuff settling out. And then here's a coin right here, penny. And oh, here's a bracelet. Oh, it's only half of it. Now maybe we'll be able to, no, you know what, that may be, oh, that's a little penknife keychain. Here's another pocket of the heavy stuff settling out, and we got what looks like a nickel. Yep, Jefferson nickel. I just break through here with a shovel and this flipped out. I'm guessing that's a penny. More brass for the scrap bucket. There comes a marble. It's not melted. More like one of those gaming piece marbles. Nothing fun, but a marble nonetheless. Look right here. Looks like silver rosy. Silver dime, I think. Yep. Look down here in these roots, you'll see another penny. Now on this sharp bend in this ditch, you can see where that water comes around, and now we're getting this lighter stuff. The burnt glass, the ash. This is the stuff that in the next rain, this stuff will probably end up clear down the main creek all the way to the river. So as this water goes down after a big flood, it starts to come around this curve and leave this lighter stuff. I mean, you could dig through this, you might find something, but most all of this is just burnt glass and lightweight stuff. But on this outer edge, you'll start to see some heavier stuff falling out. Here's looks like a nickel. Can't tell on this one. We'll have to clean that one up. Still working my way up this outer bend, outer edge of it. We got another coin, penny of some sort. Getting lots of the heavier brass for the scrap yard. There's a key, more scrap brass. Zippers. Here's your needle valve out of a carburetor. There's a penny, it looks like. I'm not sure what this is going to be, but it looks pretty cool. I can see some kind of ornate down here. And I don't see anything on this side, but we'll clean that up and see what becomes of it. I don't know what we got coming out right here. We're gonna dig it out together and see. Looks ornate. Is that one of them metal Social Security cards? Oh, it is. I can see the word Social Security. Okay. So we got a metal Social Security card. This will be fun to research. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I think that's my new favorite find for the day. Still making my way through the roots. Looks like we got another nickel laying here. Pretty sure I see Jefferson on that one. I'm hoping when we get closer to the source we'll start getting some silver. Most of my bigger silver coins have come from farther up the drainage ditch. Here's 3 more pennies. Ooh, that's a memorial. And a Zippo. I'll send that back to Zippo and tell them my lighter's not working. Oh, look at this. Here's 2 pennies right here. So now we're up to 5 in this one little area. The Zippo in the bucket. We'll keep it and clean it up. Here's another coin, penny. And I'm just cherry picking. All I'm doing is slowly making my way up this ditch. If you sat here and dug all these little pockets out, there is coins all in this stuff. You wouldn't have to do much moving. You could just pick you a spot and start digging and sifting through it. But I'm just getting the easy stuff off the top right now. Got a larger disc right here, looks pretty burnt up. Maybe one of them bittersweet finds where you just can't get it clean, never know what it ends up being. All we can do is try to clean it up and see if we can identify it. Looks like a penny on edge. I see something coming up. Let's hope that's a quarter and it's silver. Or anything silver, don't really matter. To Washington. Let's hope it's silver, not something off the street. Oh, it's silver. 63 or 4. We are now at the source. You can see this light dirt is the original ground level, and then you can start seeing this ash layer. I hope this will capture the scope of it. This is the small side, and then it gets higher and higher. There's a recliner that somebody threw off the top for scale, if you can see that. So you can dig through all this stuff, all this soft dust, dirt and ash and melted glass. I haven't had much luck just digging straight into this stuff. It just seems like Mother Nature does a better job of it and makes it easy for us by sorting it all out. The bottles in here aren't that good if you can find them whole. That looks like one sticking out right here. And this goes way back there, and then it goes this way like a quarter of a mile. So that's why we'll be digging this place till the cows come home. Looks like we got us is that a pendant? Yeah. Hopefully that thing will clean up. Okay, I went farther up the creek, or the drainage ditch, but I had to leave the camera behind because I had to crawl over a tree that was blocking the path. I left the bucket and the camera. I scratched around. I picked up the nearest fork and scratched around in those little pockets, and we've got some kind of medallion. It's ornate. More coins, I think nickels and pennies. This might be one of them tool tags. I don't know. I'll have to clean it up. I'm not sure if this is some kind of pin or just some kind of strange washer. And we got this big coin or token. Don't know. We'll have to clean her up and find out. Well, I've been back cleaning on some of this stuff. I'm going to keep cleaning, but right now we've got it clean enough where I know what we have and I can describe it to you. Same as all the other trips, we get lots of scrap brass. Valves, fittings, you get razors, locks, toilet seat hinges, keys, and buckles. So all that will go in the brass bucket. Copper, got a couple of wire windings from coils, and lead. Didn't get as much lead this time, but we got some lead. When I picked this up, I was really hoping it would be a transit token, but turns out it mounted right there in the middle. I'm not sure what this is. So it's going in the scrap brass. This thing we thought could have been a ring, looks more like a retention band. It's stainless, and it looks like it's been cut off of something. So that's scrap metal. I brought home another one of these stainless shipping tags. I just keep bringing them home. I don't know why. My Zippo lighter. It turned out to be a Continental from Japan. So we're not going to send this back to Zippo and see if they'll fix it. So it is now scrap metal. I got more junk jewelry chain. Y'all remember these that used to stretch out, them stretchable watch bands and bracelets? Spidell. So that is scrap. I was really hoping this would have something on it, like a cuff link, maybe a cuff link with something on it. It could be a cuff link, but right now it's basically nothing but a square piece of brass metal, so I'm going to scrap it too. We got a good ratio of pennies today. We got 18 wheats versus 13 memorials. Got a 1961 silver Washington quarter and a 1956 silver Rosie dime. We got 7 Jefferson nickels. No war nickels this time. Those are all just the regular. Got an ornate disc of some sort. It had an attachment point. So I don't know if this was like a clip-on earring or some other type of piece of jewelry. So we'll throw that in the junk jewelry display. This medallion that we picked up, I cleaned it up. There's nothing on it, front or back. So I guess this was some kind of cheap metal. Could have been part of a keychain, who knows. Marble, it's just a plain old gaming piece marble, nothing fancy. This is pretty cool. This is a 1958 commemorative or anniversary token for a Jayhawk Savings. It's their 4th anniversary, so they put out this thing. It's a lucky coin. And this tag did end up being a tool tag. But what's good about this one, it's not just a number. It is from the Tringham Todd Construction Company. So I'm going to keep cleaning on these, and I'm going to see if this construction company was local. I'll do some research on that. The money clip turned out to be fairly ornate. We've got to get to cleaning on that thing. This was a religious pendant. Got what looks like Jesus on the front, and on the back there's somebody sitting on a throne or something like that. So this cleaned up nice, and a little more electrolysis, I can get the rest of this corrosion out of here. I just cleaned this stuff up enough so we could figure out what we got. And we have most likely World War II. This is the Iron Cross marksmanship medal. Not sterling, but still it's pretty cool. These 2 items, I'm going to research these. This thing is brass, and it looks like maybe one of those fancy paper clips where it could hang, because these look like they were like for a, like a spring clip right here. I'm not real sure. I'll keep looking. We'll probably have to append the end of this video anyway, because we're going to research this person on this brass Social Security card. We can read it, luckily. I'm not complaining, but because we can read everything, the number and the name, but how great would it have been if this had not been eat up? This would have been really cool. But at least we can read the name and the number and the city and state. So we should be able to find this person, Lindy Berry. Got to research this thing too. We thought this was half of a pocket knife, but it looks complete, whatever it is. It can't fold out because this is solid on the top. And it can't slide out the front because it's got a link through it. So I'm going to have to look into this and see what we got here. Because it does look like it had a push here, or I swear this looks like a knife, but it's not going to work like one. We'll have to figure that out. Got the electrolysis up and running. This one big thing, this is just a big Mexican centavos. I'm just going to run it through electrolysis enough to see what year it is. And we got this, I picked up this fork because it just looked different. And I'm trying to get it cleaned up because right here it's got like a serial number stamped in it. I'm going to try to clean it up more and see if there's more writing on it, but I thought it looked odd. I thought maybe military or military issue or something like that. So we're going to keep working on this and see if I can figure out what these numbers are on the end. I can make out only 2 numbers right now. So we're going to keep cooking that. And I think that's about it for my stuff today. I'll keep cleaning. We'll add to the video here on the end when we figure out who this person is, and maybe by then I will have figured out what these two things are and get the story on that fork. Okay, we're several hours into this. We've done some more electrolysis, got some more stuff cleaned up, and did a little research. First off, this fork, I am glad I kept it. It was military. I'm sure some of you, when I first showed it in the first clip, you knew exactly what it was, but I didn't. It is stamped US. That's what that was. After I got it clean, I could see the US. So this is an M1926 military issued fork about World War II-ish. Never found one of these before, so I'm glad I kept that fork from the creek. The 20 centavos was 1944. This little mystery item ended up, I'm pretty confident this was one of those novelty paper clips. I couldn't find this exact one on Google, but there are a lot that are very similar. They have the similar design, the big loop up here and the fulcrum points for the thing. It would have been nice to know what the top part was, because the top part's the novelty part of these things. This was made in China, so this is, since this ain't complete, it's going in the scrap brass bucket, but at least I know what it is now. This little thing, I went ahead and sacrificed it to figure out how it worked, and now I'm thinking it's one of those two-piece, like an early version of a two-piece keychain. You push here and it's separated, and you had something hanging here and maybe keys here. It was something like that. It was two-piece, and they separated right there. But the biggie, whoa, this guy, Lindy Berry. This dude has his own Wikipedia page. He was a famous TCU quarterback. That's Texas Christian University, the Horned Frogs, right here in Fort Worth. He was born in Wichita Falls in 1927, and he played for TCU in I guess it was the late 40s, early 50s, and he went on to the NFL and played for some Canadian team, but he's got all kinds of awards. He's been inducted into several Hall of Fames, like the Oil Bowl. I don't know what that is, must have been an early one. The TCU has their own Hall of Fame. He's in that. Also, he has his own 1950 Topps football card. Try to buy that on eBay. They want almost $70 for that thing. So this is really cool, and this is why I like finding things with names on it. You never know what their history is. I am going to try to locate a living relative. They might want this if they're into genealogy. That would be really cool for them to get this thing back. You don't have to have ancestry to find this guy. All you got to do is Google Lindy Berry football, and it's going to come up. He's got all kinds of stuff on the internet about him. So this was probably the best find of the day right here for me anyway. So that is the final wrap up, and I will see you guys in the next video.